So, other thing I wanted to ask you is, when you're working around the state with the AFL-CIO members, if you run into a guy who looks like me, a white guy, and he says, well, I'm just not comfortable with Obama, you know that's some kind of coded language, what do you tell him?
I want to know the reason. I really want to get to the end. What are the reasons for it? And I would say that you need to give me some straight, honest, good reason. And I would say that there's only one real bad reason, right? And that is to say to me that I can't vote for him because he's black. Now, most young folks or older Caucasian will not come out oftentimes and say, I'm not going to vote for him because he's black, right? But the whole notion would be that this is transition, this is transforming kind of campaign. Transformation is definitely taking place. And so try to understand who you are, what kind of environment you grew up in. Respect that, because that's the environment, that's you. But then to start having this conversation about what are your interests. Are you interested in your children and what kind of life they're going to have and what kind of job opportunities? Are you interested in the kind of health care we need in this country? Are you interested in jobs that are being blown away and running away because of bad trade deals? And after talking to those pocketbook, those real gut issues, you then begin to feel about a little different, saying I really want someone in Washington at every level that's going to help address those kinds of issues. And then you begin to think, well, maybe this issue of race is not such an important issue that I can't go beyond that issue and deal with voting for someone that I know sees the world or can see the world as I see it, that understand that this individual is one of us, not one of the corporations that have ripped and pushed this country and big oil and big gas, right? That this candidate, Barack Obama, is in fact one of us as a worker, and that you then can embrace this campaign and vote your self-interest and the self-interest of your family. Those are the real issues. Now the point is that the other side can't talk about what they've done to increase minimum wage because they voted against it. To deal with the serious problem that we are having now with gasoline and those kinds of issues, the serious problem we're having with mortgages, right? Those folks can't deal with that, right? They have no way of dealing with that. They've not dealt with that. They've not dealt in a positive way with fixing the health care, other than giving the insurance and the pharmaceuticals a free ride. So I'm saying to that worker, now think about this. Chew on this a little bit. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be tricked by these hot button issues of race, immigration, all of this other stuff, but you're going to vote your self-interest. And we have seen workers move as a result of those kinds of conversations.
You get the last question.
Last question for you. Healthcare.
Healthcare.
Healthcare. Healthcare is an important issue. Healthcare is one that we have got to address. And it's got to be a process, I believe, for every American, regardless of your political, financial, economic status, that folks can get the health care that they need. We spend more and we get less. What kind of conversation are you hearing in your age group in terms of the real need for health care reform? Because I believe that this is our best shot. And we know that we'll be going up against all the folks that back in the 90s, the Clinton went up against around this issue. We know that we'll be going up against the pharmaceuticals. We know that we'll be going up against the insurance companies. We know that we'll be going up against those folks that are literally making millions on this broken healthcare system. What do you hear?
Healthcare and the environment are the two issues that come up most often with young voters, I think. And you know, to us, healthcare it's an issue that's been at the top of the political heap for our entire lives, and yet nothing's been done about it. And yesterday when we saw the Ted Kennedy video, we saw he's been talking about that he won't give up until this has been won. He's been talking about that for probably 40 years. You know, longer than I've been alive. And so it seems preposterous that we've been working on this issue for so long with no solution. And I think that we are all hopeful that among all of the difficult issues that we have to tackle, that an Obama presidency will tackle the healthcare issue. I don't know what the solution is going to be. I'm not sure any of us do. But if Obama can provide the leadership and we can have the right compromise with all the people who are involved, so that we can ensure that everyone has the health care they need, including mental health care. We'll be happy.
Great.
James, thank you very much. This is a man you ought to listen to, James Andrews with the AFL-CIO. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.